Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabar coming at you with another lesson that I pray that you find edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I'm on my way into the plantation, and there's a lot on my mind, dealing with prophecies and the things that's going on in the world that fulfill prophecies. But there's also things going on in the world that I would like to call fillers. And what I call a filler is anything that is in between the prophecies that give your life substance, give a lot of these jakes, I want to say, like a sense of meaning. For example, I was scrolling through the news looking for a topic, to bring up or edify about. But as I was scrolling through the media, looking for a topic, I've noticed it's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of things that matter but don't matter. It's a lot of things that they inundate the people with, to keep them on edge. There's a lot of things in the media that that's just there. It's just the bread and circus of it all. And as men of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, it is our job, to filter through that bullshit and go into what actually really matters. Because a person in the world could actually get caught up in this unnecessary bullshit and actually thinks it means more than what it is. When in fact, the men of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai were given that spiritual eyesight to actually distinguish between what you need to know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and what you don't need. You don't need to know about how the Los Angeles Lakers is going to win the next championship. You don't need to know how, Donald Trump and Joe Biden is going to debate. That's just the bread and circus of it all. You know what I'm saying? That's things that don't matter. What matters is prophecy. What matters is the words of Yahweh Yahweh Shai and what will come to pass. So we elaborate on prophecies and we elaborate on what's going on in the world, and we filter it through the scriptures. And you really have to be cognizant of the meat and the bones. The bones is that bullshit, that they hit you with day to day. So you got to be circumspect of that, even on that level. Because it's easy to be thrown or tossed to and fro by unnecessary bullshit. So I don't want to ramble on. So I'm gonna grab a few scriptures and start there. So grab the book of Revelations, the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 3. Remember therefore how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast and repent. For therefore thou shalt not watch. I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai says to watch as well as pray. And how are you going to watch? You're going to watch with that spiritual eye. You're going to watch the things that pertain to prophecy. Everything else outside of prophecy is bullshit, you know, and that's what they're hitting the people with. They're hitting the people with bullshit, things that don't matter pertaining to prophecy, you know. For example, the things that you should be looking out for that would give you a time frame in terms of where you are in prophecy is the famine. Not a famine of water or bread, but of hearing the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. What's going on with that? What are they talking about in terms of cutting off your communications? You know, when it comes with dealing with the scriptures. A famine of food. Although it says that there will be a famine of hearing the word, the scriptures also say that, you know, he will smite Egypt as the plagues was before. You know? So there's going to be a famine in the land of food, you know. Yahweh Shem Yahshua said there shall also be earthquakes in diverse places. Isn't that what you're seeing? You know, so wars and rumors of wars and uproars of the people. So all of these are things that give you a time frame on where you at pertaining to prophecy. So we're moving deeper and deeper into those things, and we're moving closer and closer into the time of the MOTB, which is the time of Jacob's trouble. So when you look at the news, and quite honestly, this is part of the reason why a lot of people don't watch the news, in particularly you Jakes. You know, a lot of you Jakes don't watch the news, as well as you other nations, you know what I'm saying? Because you've already made up in your mind that the news is bullshit and they're not giving you the information that you need for your day-to-day life. And a lot of that is true, but a lot of it is information that you need to know where you are in prophecy. You know what I'm saying? It's because you have to constantly pray until Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that you constantly move in the spirit and that you're able to see things through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, because a carnal eye isn't going to recognize what you need to pay attention to in the spirit, you know, and you know, that's essentially how a lot of you Jakes are moving. You know, a lot of you Jakes are moving cardinally. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at the news and you're taking the news as if it's nothing. And again, as I said before, a lot of it is bullshit, but there are things that you can take out of the news that will put you in a time frame of prophecy. So, let me break out another scripture. Let me see, the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 9. And it reads, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare." So a lot of things that were told unto us have come to pass. For example, the wars and rumors of wars, that's coming to pass. Earthquakes in diverse places, that has come to pass. Israel going into captivity, that has come to pass. Us falling away from our true power, that has come to pass. So a lot of things that were prophetic have already come to pass. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai said that there are new things that I will declare unto you, you know, and those things are being made manifest until today. For example, Yahweh Shem Yahushai said that there should be newly developed creatures, you know, and what do we see? Newly developed creatures dealing with robotics, you know, gene splicing, you know, all of these other things that, you know, this devil has been doing in their laboratories, you know, all of these creatures that, you know, this devil has been creating, that a lot of people are starting to see walking the streets, you know, because, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai said that it will come to pass, newly developed creatures. So guess what? There has got to be newly developed creatures, you know. Reading on with Isaiah, before they spring forth, I tell you of them. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's going to inform his prophets of what's about to come to pass. Because the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai are not the ones that's going to be caught unawares. You know, the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai who actually watch and look for those things that Yahweh Shem Yahushai spoke about won't be caught sleeping. Won't be removed out of their post. You know, that's why it's very important to, when you look at the news, you're able to discern the bullshit from the prophetic. And a lot of this stuff that's in the news is bullshit, you know. But also, a lot of the things in the news can lead into something that will lead deeper into something prophetic, you know. So, you know, you have to constantly pay attention to what's going on around you, but not fall victim to that bullshit, you know, that bread and circus, you know. Geopolitics, politics, these are the things that you should be paying attention to, because, you know, Gog and Magog is making a move, you know. Russia is building that big brother mentality to protect the nations under him, because the other nations are looking to Russia for protection, because the other nations know that Russia is or has a greater power than aka Babylon the Great. But through the pride of Babylon the Great, you know, they're going to push Russia to their own destruction. So these are the things that you should be paying attention to. These are the things that you should be watching for, to get an idea where you are in terms of prophecy, you know, as well as listening unto the apostles, the bishops, and the elders as well, you know. Don't disregard them and think that, you know, you got a foothold on everything that's going on in the world, or you don't have to listen to your elders. You know, that's shit. You know, you're going to fuck around and destroy yourself. No, there's a hierarchy in this ministry, you know, because the apostles might see something that you don't. The elders might see something that the bishops don't. You know what I'm saying? So this is one cohesive source of information that everybody works together with. You know what I'm saying? Because you might actually run across an article that you may get a laugh out of, you know, and you may post the article in the chat, but another brother working through the spirit at that in particular time might see something deep in what you're laughing at. You know, I've run across a few things like that other bros have made lessons on, and it was very edifying. And the same vice versa. So you're going to have to work with discernment when it comes to the bread and circus and the bullshit that, you know, this devil propagates in the newsway, you know, in the newsways, you know. So, hold on, let me get another scripture. Let me see. The book of Mark, chapter 13 and 35. Come. And it reads, "Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh." Yeah, watch. Watch the news. Discern what you need to know and what you don't need to know. You don't need to know how or who is going to win the NFL Super Bowl or the NBA playoffs. You don't need to know that bullshit. You know? You don't need to know, you know, what the weather's going to be like on so-called Mother's Day. You know, who... That's what? Bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And plus, besides, you shouldn't be celebrating that day anyway. You know, that's idolatry in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai when you celebrate yourself and other people. But that's for another lesson. So, have discernment for what's going on in the world. Watch what's going on in the world. Pay attention to your surroundings. You know, because everything is in place where everything could just drop. You know, the floor can be dropped right right below your feet. You know, and if you're not prepared for the fall, you're going to be destroyed. You know, if you don't get yourself prepared spiritually for what's about to come, you're just going to be had out here, you know, because there's a lot of evils going on in the world. You know, you got, you know, women constantly being judged, you know. Esau Edom's kingdom is constantly being destroyed, you know, on every level. You know, like a microwave oven, it's just cooking from the inside and it's going to explode outwardly, you know. So there's a lot going on in the world. So you have to watch, because you don't know when the hour is that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to make his appearance. You know, at even or at midnight or at the cock crowing or in the morning. So you don't know when it's going to happen, you know. It could be happening while you're fast asleep, you know what I'm saying? You know, the lights can just go out, you know. You know, like a FF might happen while you're at work in broad daylight. You know, these things can happen to you while you're just relaxing. But meanwhile, the news is telling you, don't worry about anything. Everything is okay. Let's concentrate on this. Don't pay attention to geopolitics. Don't pay attention to what's going on across the seas. Don't pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to this, because this is what we want you to acknowledge, you know? And that's why this devil's trying to get rid of platforms that actually go against his narrative. You know, he wants to get rid of TikTok and, you know, control the information that's being spread on BooTube and stuff like that, because he's losing the narrative. And when you lose the narrative, you tend to throw out more and more bullshit, you know, to keep the people more and more inundated with nonsense. You know? Verse 36. Least coming suddenly, he find you sleeping. You don't want to be caught sleeping. You don't want to be caught not watching. You don't want to be caught in mirth. You don't want to be caught, you know, slipping. You know? You don't want to be caught slipping at all. You know, you want to constantly stay on your watch. You want to constantly pay attention. You want to constantly acknowledge what is useful to you. There's a saying by Bruce Lee, and it's a very good saying that I remember. And what he said was, absorb what is useful. Keep what is useful, throw out what is useless, and keep what is specifically your own. So throw out that bullshit that don't matter to you. You know, you shouldn't be concentrating on what you're going to do this summer or what you're going to wear tomorrow. You shouldn't be concentrating on that shit. You know, you should be paying more attention to what the events in the world are doing, you know. You should be paying attention to what's going on around you, because there's a lot happening around you that you just don't even know. You know, one morning, you know, you're driving home, you know, and the street lights, you know, are what, you know, like a fluorescent color. You know, by that afternoon or by that evening, you could be driving, and next thing you know, you got neon or you know, like these blue lights. You know, and now you ask yourself, what the hell is going on with the fucking lights? Well, these things happened to you while you were sleeping. You weren't paying attention to these things. You know, you weren't paying attention to how the construction crew was out there on your way home that one morning. You wasn't paying attention to, you know, the notices that, you know, was, you know, in the neighborhood stating that, you know, the lights were changing. You didn't pay attention to these things because you didn't think of it as anything useful, because you were concentrating on some other bullshit. Pay attention to your surroundings, you know. In verse 37, and what I say unto you, And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. Watch. Watch with your spiritual eye. Listen with your spiritual ear. You know, pay attention to what's going on, because the days are evil. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to open up a can of whoop ass on Babylon. And, you know, I ask a lot of you Jakes, you know, do you watch the news? Do you pay attention to that? And the first thing out of Jake's mouth is, man, I don't watch the fucking news. It's bullshit. Okay. And that's fine. But understand that sometimes the news will throw you a fucking gem that you just overlooked. But Jake has literally threw information out the window altogether. You know? So, you know, I pray that you found this lesson edifying. You know, the moral of the lesson is understand the bullshit and chew the meat. But just understand that this devil is throwing more bullshit out there in the world to try to circumvent the truth. But that's going to happen to no travail on his part, because the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua will truly come to pass. And so with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone, who well, peace and salutations, and to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.